Hi CEOs, it's Denise the broker here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm excited about this content today, guys, and it is how to be on time 100% of the time. If you're anybody like me who has ever struggled with being on time for something, then you need to watch this video. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're notified of hot content like this video. Welcome back. So we're going to talk about how to be on time 100% of the time. I wish I knew about these tips before I've gone through, trial and error with being on time in my personal life. But now as a business owner, this is something that is so vital to the respect that you're going to have in this industry, not just real estate industry, but just as a business owner in general. That's what I mean by industry. You have to be on time for meetings. It sets the tone for everything else that's to come. If you come in and you look unorganized, you look all discombobulated, your clothes are a mess and wrinkled and it's just a mess. You have to make sure that you account for your schedule and make sure that you time block accordingly. So hopefully some things I share in this video will help you to get to that point. All right, so the first thing that you want to do with regard to being on time is you have to change your mindset. It starts here. It starts in the mental. How many of you guys are guilty of saying, I can never be on time for anything? I've definitely been in your shoes, just giving myself that excuse because that's all it is. So I'm feeding myself an excuse that I can't be on time. And I allow that to be acceptable behavior for myself. You have to scratch that. It's a new year, scratch it. You gotta be on time. You have to be on time. That's so important. The other thing I like to think about, what gets me back in the mode of like, okay, let me make sure that I'm on top of my stuff, is if I was going somewhere to pick up $1 million check, would I be late to that meeting? Well, you have to look at every opportunity like $1 million check, $1 million opportunity, because that person that's there, that person that's waiting on you, you need to respect their time. Everybody's time is valuable. So if you've agreed to be at a meeting or an event or this or that, then you need to think about it that way. If I was going to pick up $1 million check, would I be late to that meeting? And whatever it is that you would need to do in order to get there on time, if you were waking up extra early, if you were accounting for traffic, you would do everything that you needed to do to make sure you got there on time. So keep that with you guys if you get nothing else from this video. Next, you want to actually schedule your meetings. So what I like to do is I like to trick myself. So I will actually put a scheduled time in my calendar, say 15 minutes early. So if I've agreed to meet with someone at 2 o'clock, I'll put in my calendar that the meeting is at 1:45. So I'm automatically scheduling it in my calendar 15 minutes ahead of time so that when it pops up as a notification, I'm like, okay, great. I know I need to be there at 1:45, because technically you do need to be at whatever meeting it is 15 minutes early, because you want to account for traffic. You want to also account for parking. I mean, if you live in Atlanta, you definitely want to account for those too, especially if you're meeting somewhere and there's a parking garage, or if you're going somewhere near downtown. You need that extra time, okay? Trust me. That's something that's very helpful. Another thing that you can do is set the timer on your car, back a little bit, or not back, but schedule it a little bit further in advance. So like give it an additional 10 minutes of time versus having the exact same time on your car clock as it is on your cell phone. That really is definitely a benefit as well. Another thing that you can do is stop scheduling your meetings during high peak hours. So if you know that most people in corporate America go to lunch between the hours of say 12 and 1 or 11 and 1, you should schedule around those meetings. Don't be afraid of early meetings. Have an 8 o'clock meeting, an 8:30 meeting, a 9 a.m. so that you're not dealing with traffic as much as you would if you scheduled a 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, meeting. I mean, who wants to be in traffic at 5 o'clock at night anyway? So really just keep that in mind. What is a high peak time of day? And even if you go into like Google and put in the address, it actually breaks out for you the high peak times. So if you know that you have a very important event, you want to check that so that you'll know, okay, if I know I have to meet this person at this address, it's going to be best for us to schedule the time during the low peak times on the Google Map calendar. Another thing that you want to do is, for me, this is very important, scheduling out my outfit and my hairstyle the night before. Guys may not have to do the hairstyle one, but for ladies, my hair really dictates my mood. Like right now, I'm in a funky, fun, I'm doing my YouTube channel content, so I love my hair just being out a little bit wild and crazy. But if I wanted to be in a more sophisticated environment, things like that, I might pin my hair up, I might put it in a bun, so you have to think through how your hair is going to be, how your outfit is going to be. You want to go ahead and plan that in advance, and also maybe go ahead and lay it out, iron it, have it ready to go. That's going to be really, really helpful with getting out the door. Another thing that you may not even think about is actually pumping gas before the morning of. So you want to make sure that you have gas in your tank. Sometimes I literally have to go outside and just go crank my car and see how much gas I have, so that I'll know if I have to stop to get gas in the morning, and give myself extra time to do that, because the boo thing does not want me pumping gas at night. So definitely take that into consideration as well, because that can take additional time. And one of the final things I'll note is that you can actually go to the location maybe the night before and really map out your route. Now, I don't do this for everything, obviously, but if it's something that's really important to me and I want to make sure that I'm there on time, I'll actually drive to that location the day before so that I know where I'm going, because it's nothing worse than taking a wrong turn or navigating to the wrong location, et cetera, being lost and then being late to an important meeting. So now that you've heard my tips and the things that I do to really help get myself to meetings and important events on time, I hope that they've been helpful for you as well. So if they have, subscribe to my content like this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.